could look me in the eye. It's all because of Jesus, he the reason I'm alive. I live by faith, by grace, you know that I ain't gotta strive. They told me, tone it down.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night, one more. Every time we play that song, we win. You know, we played that.
No.
That was the first song.
When they play it first.
Game 4, that was the first song we won. So
I did hear it, and I texted you because you were at the game, and I said, hey, they played the song, we're going to win tonight. And didn't even have to worry about the rest of the game because it's a fact. The DJs need to get on the same page and play that song during the first stoppage of play.
Just to make sure.
And it'll be great. We are the Boat Parade.
We're the Boat Parade.
Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
What
Today
up?
we are doing a preview of Game 5 Eastern Conference Finals, Tampa Bay Lightning versus the New York Rangers, which will be taking place about now when this video goes live. And we're going to watch it tonight and give you a recap later. Ryan, what do you think the key is going into this game? Because I really feel like this series has been a battle of who is the home ice team. Both of these teams really throughout the whole year, but particularly in the playoffs, have played great at home and okay or bad on the road.
Yeah.
And to have to go to the Garden for Game 5 is tough. A lot of people are saying that, hey, the Lightning, now they have the momentum, they're really rolling, and they're going to get it. I think it's going to be a battle.
Yeah, this is a kind of game that I feel like is going to be like a 2-1 overtime type game in New York. Not saying I'm calling that, but 2-1 Bolts would be a pretty good call overtime in my opinion.
We both did almost accurately call Game 4.
If the empty netters almost don't count with a call because it's.
We said it would be 3-1.
We said it'd be 3-1.
And they won
It
4-1
was
with the empty netter with 10 seconds left.
Yeah, so we'll see. But no, I mean I do think it's going to be a battle. But I think if the Lightning stick to this, what the successful strategy's been, hear me out. Blue to blue.
That's the key.
In my opinion, the weakness of this Rangers team is breaking them up offensively to where they can't set up. I think they're the most dangerous team.
It was the same thing as the Panthers.
Yeah, but
in transition, if you can stop them in transition and don't let them get into the offensive zone, how many, like, not breakaway goals, but how many, like, offensive rush goals have the Rangers had this series? Where they go down and then Zibanejad snipes the top left over Vasi's left
probably
blocker.
6.
Right. So then if you stop that blue to blue, now you have a tremendous advantage.
So the risk factor with your blue to blue, which I did see at the games, the home games, is when you're trying to cut passing lanes off, so you're being aggressive, kind of pressing, not a full forecheck, but you're kind of pressing. You're cutting passing lanes off, and then you're trying to stop them blue to blue. You get a lot of breakaways for them. So they had a lot of good 2-on-1 opportunities. But you can do that when you have Vasi as the netminder.
And Hedman will get back and basically take away one of the options.
Yeah, when we actually did a really good job blocking shots in 4. I think it's harder to do that in an away environment. You know, one thing I'll tell you tonight I can guarantee, after being at Game 3 and 4 where there were a lot of chants, Vasi's better, Igor sucks, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Vasilevsky this game. And he's either going to step up to the Vasi we know he normally is.
He's the big cat.
He's the big cat. He had a great game, especially Game 4. Game 3 was good, but Game 4 was a great game for him. He was the first star of the game. But blue to blue is a key. It's a little risky, but it works against the Rangers. The Rangers are the most dangerous team of all the original teams in the playoffs. If they get set up offensively in a 5-on-5 situation, I've seen them put 2 people in the slot. And they're very dangerous, probably the most dangerous team in a setup slow offense type scenario.
The way that how crisp and fast they pass, and they're just rolling the puck around looking for the open guy, and then to not turn it over.
And they have shooters like Panarin.
It's really great. Panarin and Zibanejad, Chris Kreider just ripping them on net constantly.
Yeah, and these little wrist shots that, like, if you get a good screen, Vasi's guessing, and his guess ratio is probably 70% right. But 30% of those goals, if you get 10 shots on goal, is enough to win a game.
It's interesting that, like, how they do the little like mid-game interviews with, like, Coop and stuff like that. And that was one of the things that he said immediately after a goal. I think it was in Game 3, where it's like, yeah, they're moving the puck well, but we can't screen our own goalie. So that's something that they're actively trying to not do, and the Rangers are obviously trying to do. So like you're saying, to keep blue to blue, making that disturbance in the offense and not letting them get set up as often as possible to minimize those beautiful passing shot attempts is going to be a huge key, particularly at the Garden.
Yeah, and I mean, I think home ice advantage, but now New York's been hungry for this opportunity ever since 2015 when we beat them out of the playoffs to
Oh, yeah.
then go on and suck,
Versus the
absolute
Blackhawks. It was
trash
bad.
against
Well,
the Blackhawks. That was
Yeah.
that was one of the worst moments as a Lightning fan, was 15 against the Blackhawks. But other than like Stammer breaking his leg, but the point is New York's hungry for this, so there's a lot of they have a huge fan base anyway, a lot of loyal fans, and now you're going into the Garden after you just even the series. The main goal tonight of New York is to stop the momentum. Even if they lose this game, their main goal is going to be to throw the momentum off. So I wouldn't be surprised. This is just me. I wouldn't be surprised if you had a lot of in the slot, like checking Vasilevsky, checking pads after the puck's already been they've already blown the whistle. Like, they're going to try to throw Vasilevsky off his rhythm. They're going to try to throw a couple of the guys off their rhythm. They're going to try to have some really hard hits. They're going to try to do what they can to break that momentum blue to blue, so they can get some really good opportunities set up offensively. What we cannot do is allow them to get set up, even if you allow a couple shots because you're over pressing, so they're slipping past you and getting some shot opportunities. It's worth it for momentum's sake to keep digging into them defensively, not just sitting blocking shots. The Rangers are so much like us as a team. If we play like we would normally play against this team, they're a younger, faster, hungry team. We have to play a little different than we normally would. Like when we go to play Colorado, we're going to play a total different strategy.
Man, you already put yourself in the finals.
Bro,
I think what the interesting thing about
cool. I put myself in the third round, and everybody's like, "How could you have to face the Panthers?" Okay, well,
the interesting thing about the series now is that now it's even. So really now it's a 3-game series, and then they have the advantage playing 2 at home against, and then both teams are better at home and not good on the road. This is a defining game in the series, because now if the Rangers win Game 5, now we have to come back at home. And now you're playing for your life, do or die, just like against the Maple Leafs in the first round.
Which we're going to win at home. But it's 7 that then becomes...
Now it's 2 games back-to-back where, hey, this is it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this now. If you're a Rangers fan, this actually will be offensive, and I'm sorry.
I'm not.
But Igor Shesterkin is slowly deteriorating in this series.
I think the Lightning are more so figuring him out as opposed to him getting
well,
worse.
I sat right behind him in Game 4 and watched him the whole period for 20 minutes as he started to fall apart. I actually saw him not arguing, but he was it looked like, I know this is going to sound strange, but he was like asking counsel of the ref. He was like talking to the ref, like, because there were 2 goals disallowed in that game, but 2 disallowed goals. Let me tell you, whoever accidentally hit the horn that we scored when we did not score, I don't know if you have, because you weren't watching, that threw him and his momentum off a lot. Then they dug in with their sticks and pushed his pad into the goal. I watched him start to deteriorate, his confidence, he the way he was responding to screens, everything started to fall apart for him as we put a lot of pressure on him individually.
Yeah, goalies are already weirdos in the first place, and everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And it's all a game of in the head. It's just like a kicker in a football. It's a mental game between the ears. That's a goalie in both hockey, soccer, whatever there's a goalie in. And whenever you get thrown off like that, it can definitely throw you off your game.
I don't know what the win percentage is right now. And, we close the video with this, but I don't know what the win percentage is. But I'll tell you what, I think Tampa Bay's probably 85% chance of winning this series. Going into Game 5, even though it's away, with a 2-game home ice win advantage. Now, like, you got the momentum rolling. You've figured their goalie out. The first game for the Lightning is always, let me figure this team out.
And we've always talked about that. The Lightning, I wonder what their actual losing percentage is in the first game of series, but they've always like, hey, the first game, and we'll figure it out from there.
6-2, everybody's like, Vasi sucks. Okay.
Right, you have to win 3 more.
He's just, the team's okay. They know that you can get the first 2 games, but we'll go get 4 in a row, or we'll go get 4 out of the next 5. And so I think tonight's going to actually be another goalie battle type night. I don't think it's going to be an offensive exploding night. I think you may not even see a goal scored into the second period. Maybe midway through the second period, you'll have your first one break loose. It may be Rangers first. Lightning will even it, go to overtime, win 2-1 in the Garden. So it's going to be an interesting night. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I have seen like different polls and stuff online the first thing is, who would you rather see in the finals? And a lot of people say
the
Rangers.
The Rangers, yeah.
But then who do you think's going to win the series? It's like 70% usually towards the Lightning.
Yeah, and not even Lightning fans. It's just, the Rangers are a young team. It would be cool to see them in the playoffs.
Hey, is Strome out? Their defender?
I don't know.
Is he a defender? I think he is.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't know if
I
he's
don't
out.
care.
I know Pointer's not coming back yet, but I've said since the beginning they should ice him for Colorado because we'll need the speed. We'll need the transition speed against the Avs. So.
Yeah, I've liked Hagel a lot, but he's not point as much as I
grinded
want him
in Game 4. Though.
He's a grinder.
He got
in that fight.
He didn't really in Game 2 or 3, bro. He got his freaking butt whipped for the first part of that fight. I mean, I was embarrassed. I was like, bro. And then he got some good shots at the end, so people were saying he won the fight. I don't think he won the fight.
It's a fight.
He caught like 6 to the face in a row. The dude punched his helmet off, and then he just came back bow. When you're at home, if you land any punches, they're like, you won the fight. Yeah. That's it. You won the fight. Hagel definitely, his hand was like, because you have no helmet on, but you're punching the dude's helmet. Yeah.
And all jacked up.
Anyway.
So let us know in the comments, who do you think is going to win tonight? Thank you for liking and subscribing.
Yo.
And go Bolts.
Go Bolts.
You know you can look me in the eye. It's all because of Jesus. He the reason I'm alive. I live by faith, by grace. You know that I ain't gotta strive. They told me, Tony.